92.7 The Block, it's your boy Chewy, here with a special edition. Listen, we had to leave the station. We had to pull up on him. He was in the city, and he tapping in with everybody in the city. Ladies and gentlemen, no other than the coolest man in the room, Nav. What's going on, man?
Chill ain't shit.
Every time I've seen an interview with you, every time that I've seen you, it's like you just so chill. You just like...
Yeah, I be high, bro. We smoke a lot of weed. So just be high.
How much weed do you smoke in one day? Like, what is the most? What is the most you smoked in one day?
Not a lot. It's just I'm always smoking. It's not that like I smoke a big amount of weed. I just always have a blunt. So I be smoking probably I say like half an ounce a day or less.
God,
less. Like I be sharing it too. So
you let everybody hit it.
If I was by myself, I probably smoke 3 or 4 blunts a day max.
Damn.
It's not that bad.
Not bad at all for you. For me, I don't know about all that. So, I gotta ask. I found out that you love video games.
Yeah.
What is your go-to video game?
Fortnite.
I'll kick your ass in 2K and Fortnite.
I don't claim to be good at 2K, but I can play it a little bit.
I want to see what the Fortnite is. This Fortnite skills really good?
Absolutely. It's crazy.
So, Nav, I gotta ask. Like, I play with Lil Yachty. All right, I done destroyed him in Mortal Kombat a couple of times. Who's someone that you played in a video game that you destroyed them, that you thought they was gonna be somewhat nice?
I don't know. What do you think? Daddy, you can think about that. What?
Just give French's props.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. The only person I really played like that is French. You know, I played French.
Oh my God!
I played him in Street Fighter at Casual House, but he was actually pretty good, bro. Like, he told me a story he used to walk a mile or something to go play
play video games. Yeah.
Yeah. So he I think I beat him by only 2 games, you know, and he was really good. He's surprisingly really good. But
big shout out to
he was drinking and
brother.
stuff though, you know. He was drinking and stuff, so maybe I had an advantage.
Yes, French stays lit. In case y'all don't know, French stays lit. Shout out to the big brother, French Montana. You already know how we rocking. He popped up on me for my birthday and took my mother, myself, and my daughter. We all went out to eat with Jacquees. And I know that you see French moving the way he's moving. What type of motivation is that for someone like you that's still moving up in the ranks and then you're moving at a high speed?
I mean, that's my big bro forever, you know what I mean? He's really close with everybody, like me and Cash and everybody. So just watching him, you know, he gives a lot of good advice to me too, like you know, the way he made mistakes and stuff. So yeah, you know, it's just motivating to see everything he built, and it's from the ground up.
Now I gotta ask, for the people who don't know, what is your nationality?
I'm from India. My parents are from India, specifically Punjab.
Okay, so I heard that you have an uncle that's a musician.
Yeah, he used to be more back in the day, but yeah, he was the first person that took me to the studio ever.
What's one of the biggest things that you learned from your uncle?
I just say like watching the first process, you know, how they recorded a song, because they punch in the same way for that music, the way that we do for hip hop. So later on, 10 years later, when I'm an artist now, it's still the same process.
So do you see yourself making an Indian record with your uncle down the road?
Maybe he'll be involved in production or something, but
he's I'm not putting him on the track with me.
I don't think he would want to, you know, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not at the crossover level yet. I'm about to crossover soon though.
What do you feel as though has been one of the biggest adversities you have faced, not just in the music world, but as far as personally? Because you have to sacrifice so much being an artist. What is one of the biggest adversities you've overcame now?
Challenges?
Yeah.
Just being from my nationality and being an artist and hip hop and being taken serious, you know what I mean? I can't do too much flex my muscle because, you know, my whole work, visa, all that should be in jeopardy. So you can't be acting too crazy. So yeah, it's kind of tough. It was tough. It's easier now.
Now, how is that working? Because we've seen the situations with the 21 Savages. Even older, before that, we see situations with artists like Slick Rick, who's had these issues with the visas and being here and working. How do you manage to stay aloof from all of that and continue to push?
I just stay on defense, you know, never try to be some big you know, crazy wild person. I just have a good time. I left all the negative shit in my old life, you know, and now I got money, so I just choose to do funner and better things and positive things instead of looking for fucking smoke or something.
Who's one of your biggest role models and why?
I say Cash, Abel. Just because what they've done and where they come from, is I can relate to it, and the challenges they face, even him being Ethiopian and stuff as an artist, you know how big he is now. You know, same thing with Cash, all immigrants and shit. Like my parents are immigrants and shit. So,
But gentlemen such as you guys, and when I say you guys, immigrants in a whole, I'm Puerto Rican. Everybody is from different descents, and you're adding such a positive vibe to hip hop. You're adding the world of hip hop and expanding it to now. Music is hip hop is one of the biggest exports in all of the United States, in my personal opinion. And you're going back home, seeing the reception of things. What is that like? Have you been back? What has that been like?
What, in India?
Yeah.
No, I haven't been there since I was like 3 years old. So, like, I plan to go there, like, you know, once the time's right. But I just haven't gone back, and I don't really know nothing like about the culture there. I gotta go figure it out.
We gotta talk about this because y'all got some bomb food.
No, the food and everything.
They're like, nah, I don't have the food.
I'm not talking about like culture, like in that general sense. I mean, like, what's really going on in India. Like, I haven't been there to see it and feel it. You know what I mean? And I plan to do that soon.
Who's someone that you're looking forward to working with?
I don't know. I get asked this question. I really work with everybody I want to work with. So, I don't know. Just like, I guess, like, you know, people that I'm about to work with, you know? Like, Lil Gotti, like, I'm about to work with him, like, we talk, and, like, it's gonna happen, but it's like...
Wait, who?
Lil Gotti.
Okay.
Lil Keys brother. So,
yeah.
But it's like, that's gonna happen anyways, you know? It's just like, I'm talking about, like, as far as a goal, like, I don't have, like, anybody, like, crazy that I want to work with like that. Like, on the production side, there's a lot of people, but on the artist side, I don't really know. I haven't figured it out yet.
Now, we've seen the connection with EXO. Why EXO out of all the other people?
I don't know, just like, at that time, like, there was a couple labels talking to me, and they didn't feel right in my gut, and then when EXO, like, Cash, when he approached me, it was just like, it felt right because they never signed anybody. And I didn't even think of them as an option at first. Like, I thought
more like a family with.
Yeah, it wasn't even like in my head. Like, there was all these other labels in my head, but EXO, like, they never, like, when I never heard of them signing anybody. So when they hit me, I was like, oh shit, like, yeah, I gotta do this.
Like, we gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story. So D-Ray Davis, my uncle, big shout out to D-Ray. We had a club called Greystone in LA, and Cash is in the table right next to us. This was when Fetty Wap had his record going crazy. And it was, I don't know if it was BT weekend or whatever weekend it was. And I didn't know who Cash was. I just saw this big old EXO chain. And I'm like, okay. The next thing you know, he orders like about 15 bottles. And just starts spraying everybody in the sections to where the point D-Ray jumped down and was like, yo, my brother, whoa, whoa, whoa. Cash like, I'm sorry, man. I'm just loving life. And that seems to always be his energy. What has been one of the biggest things you have learned from Cash?
I don't know, just like, I'd say he really tuned up, like, thinking before I talk. Like, I used to talk too much or say too much, and he really made me, like, think before I talk. I'll say that for sure. That was one of my biggest flaws that I worked on. Another question I'm gonna have for you before we get out of here is, what would you want your legacy to be? I just want to be known as a musician first, you know what I mean? Like, not as like a rapper, or like, you know, just like a general category. Like, I want to be known for, like, you know, what I do. That's why I want to, like, eventually do like a documentary so they show, like, behind the scenes and how, like, the process is, so people can really appreciate it. I'm excited for it. I know that it's gonna come, and I know that you are the next biggest superstar coming up in this entertainment industry, not just because you're a quote-unquote rapper, but you're a real artist, and that's something that needs to be highlighted and talked about. Ladies and gentlemen, now, before we let you get out of here, two more things. What's your favorite piece of jewelry? Because you got a lot on, man. You even got diamonds in your pants. I'm not... The hell? I'm not wearing it right now, but it's... Oh, what is it? I know, look, I saw him reach in the bag. Yeah, we can show you. Got it? You know he got it. Stays on the hip. That's fine. Woo! There's an invisible set EXO piece with like square diamonds in it. You got that. And then, yeah. Boot gang, a whole lot of gang, you know. But man, damn. What was the first thought that you got when you first got this? It's fucking big because like I never had a piece this big, and I was just like I didn't know how I was gonna get like used to it wearing it, and then eventually I just got used to it. And then like I got this one too, and it's like it just keeps adding up. It's your boy's fault, Gunna's fault. Shout out to Gunna, man. I see him keep buying jewelry, and I'm like, fuck. Yeah, no, he go crazy. I be cheap with jewelry. I don't want to buy jewelry. I like you know, I like more like trying to invest, but I'm not really doing that either. I'm just wasting money too. So
And like Gunna and I was talking. I hope y'all watched one of the last interviews. Gunna and I was talking, and he carried the bag that he just got from Virgil, the new Louis Vuitton one, 3D hologram.
Yeah.
And I said, "What do you keep in your bag?" Because everybody says, "Oh, you wearing Chanel purses," and he was like, "You want to see what I got in it? Here,
money,
you open it up.
Money, weed,
Had that. About 9 Rolexes, bust downs, all colors, and about like another bag just of chains.
Yeah, that's Gunna right there.
Big shout out to Gunna. Big shout out to Big Brother French Montana, and also shout out to this guy right here. You could be sure to follow him on the gram at Nav NAV, and you may want to stay tuned because I already know the next couple of projects is gonna be insane. And do me a favor, tap in with him.